Welcome back, viewer, to Chungu Cha Jamii. Today we are talking about adult and continuing education. What have you learned so far in this program? What are your questions, your concerned? Send in your comments, your question across all our social media networks. That's GBS TV Africa. Our SMS line is 21144. So before we went on a break, we had learned about unlearning what you have learned and also being open to learn and relearn as well. So as we continue, allow me to read this. It's a question from a viewer. Is asking, just a minute, what are some of the emerging trends and innovation are in the field of adult education? Maybe to you, madam.
Wow, that is nice. In adult education, it has been undergoing a lot of changes, and right now we are looking at the aspect of lifelong learning, because we realize that somebody stops learning when they die. So the aspect of lifelong learning is coming in, whereby our community learning resource centers which have been existing, we want to revamp them and make them places whereby both the literate and illiterate can come and share and learn and even innovate things. So that is a program that will be coming on board, and very soon in Nairobi County we are going to initiate 4 of them. We are hoping the county government will support us, whereby in these learning resource centers we shall carry out environmental conservation. It's the same place we can discuss security issues affecting the community, health issues, and we get even the university students to come and give back to the community, whereby they will be able to educate those who have dropped out or those who never went to school, because you realize that these street kids and those who dropped out have some skills, and if they can put their brains together with the university students, they can innovate things and do great things. And it's at those centers that will have skills being taught also, and income generating activities coming up. It will also be a community empowerment center where people are empowered in different ways. Bring your skill on board, we work on it, help you develop it, and then we market you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Another question for the teacher specifically. So what are the significance of recognizing recognition of prior learning in adult education? That is one. Another one is how can adult education program be tailored to accommodate diverse culture and social economic backgrounds?
Okay, what I can say that one, I might try to combine the two questions, is basically education is key, and we need to move from the notion that we have a specific group of people that need the adult education. Adult education is for everyone, and every Kenyan should embrace adult education. For instance, I can give a good example. You finish school, and maybe you were taught journalism 5 years ago. Then you didn't take any learning. You went home. Technology has changed. When you come back to, maybe you are looking for work, you'll have to learn the new cameras in the systems. You'll have to learn the new editing softwares. You'll have to learn everything. So the learning is changing from not just for adults, but being a lifelong learner. And this is what is happening even to all the people of the 21st centuries. No one will hold a career for to retirement. You'll be working for 5 years, get another gig, get another job, get another different line. So all this time you'll be learning. Because at first you started as a nurse, you went to be a teacher, from a teacher you become a journalist, from a journalist you become a farmer. All these points you are learning. So the lifelong learning will continue. So adult education is not just for people and dropouts. This is a system that the government is embracing, and people should embrace and learn. So there's no point, at no point you'll ever be not being learning. Yeah.
And just to add on that, our undoing is when we thought that adult education is for the illiterates, people who don't know anything, useless, and all that. There is nothing as beautiful as adult education. Because, madam, let me tell you, you are illiterate, true or false. It depends on what side I'm talking about. I'm equally literate. I know nothing to do with the cameras these guys are holding. And you don't know anything to do with CBC. Your child will come home today, you are an 844. You're supposed to take this person through that learning. You're illiterate. So the moment Kenyans will embrace that we are moving from looking at illiterates of the 1963 and we are looking at multiple literacies. Let us learn to better our lives. You can be multi-skilled. I can be a good teacher here. When I reach home, I'm good in agriculture. When I go to my mother's place, I have some basic knowledge on medicine, and we move on. So if we look at adult education as an aspect of learning every moment, and Kenyans should know that every and each day and every second, things are changing, so people are learning. Learning and learning and learning. So we have to keep learning, and that is adult education.
Interesting. I like the point that you said that Iran is illiterate. It just depends the angle and the magnitude on the same.
Yeah.
So maybe you can tell us a success story of an adult education. Briefly, just briefly tell us of a senior citizen or a senior person who was illiterate, came to your centers, got the exposure to learn, and now is someone in the society? Kindly.
I have a story of one of our learners. I don't have her name, but I believe one day she should come and give a story. This is a girl who left all the way from Western Kenya to come to Nairobi. And she left before she even cleared primary because things were not working, and she's been told, you're a girl, you got to go and look for money or get married, and the family was in problems. So she came to Nairobi and she became somebody's maid. And you know, when you come from home, unajiona, you know how to cook, you know how to clean, you get into somebody's house. You're thinking, her thinking was being a maid is cooking and washing clothes. Yet the houses in Nairobi, it's more than that. You will clean the house, you will cook, you will wash the clothes, and the parents of these young ones are still at job. These young ones have to come in, they've got to do their assignments and be. So this lady could not handle the assignments of these primary school children, lower primary. And the boss was so good, willing to bear good salary so long as she's able to do all this. So she realized the gap. She went back to adult education, studied, was able now to assist these ones to do homework. So when these children were in school during the day, this girl aliamuka saa 10, did her work, took the children to school, came back and followed an adult education teacher to teach her. Then she did her KCP, so she was able to help these ones who are coming. She did her KCP within 2 years. After KCP, she struggled and ensured also she has done KCSE. Now she's running a school, those sides of Mukuru Kwanjenga. The school is under her. She has trained as a teacher. She's now employing even the graduates to help her now run the school. And that's a success story for us, plus very many others. Yeah.
As a teacher, what do you have to add on that?
Yeah, what I can say, like from where I teach at Committee Maximum Prison. So we have seen education being a pillar to the rehabilitation process, because one, most of the people who come there, they are not educated. Crime and illiteracy go hand in hand. So when they come there, maybe they were convicted and they didn't know anything the judge was saying. Anything was being said there, they didn't even learn anything, or they didn't understand what was happening. Now, after now attending lessons, they can now speak to themselves. Most of them cannot afford to get a lawyer, but now they can now share and say that follow their proceeding or follow their court. So we have seen tremendous effort from the learners, because some of them, when they show the judges the certificate, we have a proficiency certificate that we give anyone who is able now to read and write. So once they show the judge a certificate that like this, that I am a proficient, I know how to read and write, some of them are given less sentences, some of them are released, because now the judge sees that this person has made value to his life, and maybe if I release him, they are going to be a better person to the society. So education has now become a big pillar to the correction services, and they have even embraced a full section, giving it managerial and giving it resources to support that, because now I've also learned that people who come now to to school, we have a school of around 174 learners. So these people will not engage in any other petty crime there. You'll not find them sending messages asking you to bring money or send something, because they are always engaged, and we give them a lot of work always. So education and my center, and even to other centers, it is a key instrument to the whole rehabilitation and anything.
Yeah, it's also a game changer. Remember, years back, you get somebody telling you, just plead to the judge and say yes, you did it, and then you're taken in for something you didn't even do.
Sure.
Yeah.
Allow me to take you back as a tutor in the committee prison. Outside here, you said the structure of adult education is different. What is the system that you use in adult education system at the prison? Is it the same with the outside person who you say that it's the adult who lead the class? Or is it that here, since they are confined in one place and they have not much to do, that they follow a certain procedure?
What happens, first, maybe we forgot to mention that the adult education itself has a curriculum and a structure. So we have those who are basic. These are people who don't know anything. They'll start from A, B, C, D, learning alphabets and moving from numbers. They don't know the simple arithmetics. Then we have those who know how to learn, the post-literacy. And then now we have a group of, we call them continuous learning, because these are people who can now sit for an exam, KCPE, KCSE, and then we also have those who can go for college, like they do CPA and law at our center. But now, in our center, it is structured. This is a school. Because now they are confined, we have a timetable, we have the lessons. But again, we don't force learners to come. Because leo naeza amka with a, let me call it a rotten mood, and then see that there is no need of school. Maybe he or she has pressing needs that are taking toll on his mental. So we don't force them to come. Even if we have the structure there, the learning is voluntary. Yes.
Do you have anything to add on that?
Yeah, I would say the beauty about prison is at least the in-charges have seen the importance of education, so they allocate the learners more time. And outside here, it is this learner to create that time by themselves, because this learner has children to take care of, has a business to take care of, and then has learning to take care of. So they have to balance in between. So that's where the difference comes. But the curriculum is the same, depending on what level you are.
Thank you so much for coming. But before we wind up, I'd like to get your parting shot. Maybe starting with you, the lady.
My parting shot is adult education, which you are referring to as lifelong learning, is the way to go. And looking at the current end of KCP, CBCs, the incoming thing, I think those who never got a chance to do KCP, do not look at yourself and say you're doomed. Come to adult classes, you will learn basic English, Kiswahili, and mathematics. And with those, you can go and learn a skill and be able to operate in this society, because you'll be able to be taught other things as you go on.
And to the gentleman?
So for me, what I can say, the train has already left the station, and the world, as a science teacher, I can tell you that the world is in a constant, random change, and we are all adult learners. At whatever point you are an adult learner, and you need to embrace the lifelong learning process. So we encourage people to start learning, to even sign up to libraries. We have libraries all over. The Kenya National Library is just there, and all these places. So let's embrace education, and we'll see a better country and a better world.
Wow. Thank you so much for honoring our invite and for gracing this show with the wealth of knowledge that you've come with. Viewer, I hope you've learned as much as I have about adult and continuing education. Let's continue this conversation online across all our social media networks. That's GBS TV Africa. Our SMS line is 21144. Till next time, have a nice time. Goodbye.